Yes?
How will you be travelling, old chap?
Yes?
England. England is part of the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom also includes Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales. England. London is the capital and largest city in the United Kingdom. Almost 48 million people live in England. England. The balloon became the first manned aircraft in 1783. Balloons can be filled with gas, either helium or hydrogen, to make them rise above the ground. Sometimes they use hot air to rise. England. A popular snack in England is fish and chips. The chips are actually what Americans call French fries. England. The Queen of England lives in Windsor Castle. It was built in the 11th century. Pet tricks. The Louvre Museum. Run for your life. Bull ring in Spain.
Yes?
Spain. Spain is a country in Europe and part of what is called the Iberian Peninsula. Madrid is the capital and largest city in Spain. Almost 40 million people live in Spain. Spain. Several different languages are spoken in Spain, but the most common is Spanish. Spanish is also spoken in many other countries of the world, mostly in Latin America. Spain. Bullfighting is the Spanish national sport. A matador is a highly skilled bullfighter. Bullfighting fans marvel at the matador's skill and artistry as he fights the dangerous angry bull. Spain. The running of the bulls is a popular annual event in the city of Pamplona. It takes place every July at the Fiesta de San Fermin. Pet tricks. Bull ring in Spain. The Louvre Museum.
Yes?
France. France is a country in Europe. More than 55 million people live in France. The capital and biggest city in France is Paris. France. Paris is one of the most beautiful cities in Europe. It is famous for its art, architecture, and fashion. France. Mont Blanc, the highest mountain in Western Europe, is in France. It is 15,771 feet high. France. The Eiffel Tower was designed and built by a French engineer named Alexandre Gustave Eiffel. It took 2 years to build and was completed in 1889. France. The Louvre Museum is one of the world's largest and most famous art museums. The Mona Lisa was painted by the Italian artist Leonardo da Vinci in the year 1514. Pet tricks. Piazza San Marco.
Yes? Players!
Italy. Italy is a country in Europe. The capital of Italy is Rome. Italy has a population of approximately 57 million people. Italy. A gondola is a long, narrow boat used to navigate through the canals of Venice. A pole or one oar at the back of the gondola is used to push the boat through the water. Italy. A piazza is a public square. The most famous piazza in Venice is San Marco. Italy. St. Mark's Cathedral is located in Piazza San Marco. The cathedral was built in the 11th century. Italy. A sculptor is an artist. Sculptors use different kinds of solid materials to create statues or sculptures. Some materials they use are wood, clay, metal, and stone. Marble is a type of stone found in quarries. Meatball Pyramid Mystery. I can't see a thing.
Yes. Return. Fun.
Look at this place.
Yes.
Egypt. Egypt is a country in northern Africa. The capital of Egypt is Cairo. Egypt has the largest population of any North African country. Nearly 50 million people live in Egypt. Egypt. The Nile River, which passes through the entire country of Egypt, is the longest river in the world. It is 4,145 miles long. Egypt. A mirage is an illusion caused by the way light passes through the air. Seeing water in the desert, like the Sahara Desert, can be a mirage. Egypt. Camels are ideally suited for desert life. They can go for very long periods of time without water by relying on the fat in their humps. Camels can carry very heavy loads and walk very well in the soft sand of the desert. Egypt. The pyramids of ancient Egypt were built nearly 4,500 years ago. It took 4,000 workers nearly 20 years to build a pyramid. Egypt. Hieroglyphics are picture and symbol writing found mostly on Egyptian monuments. These pictures were used to tell stories before there was an alphabet and words. Hieroglyphics are almost 5,000 years old. Egypt. A sarcophagus is a stone tomb. It often has hieroglyphics written on it. The bodies of the dead pharaohs and kings were wrapped in special cloth before they were buried to preserve them. They were called mummies. No boat to float.
Yes.
Africa. Africa is the world's second largest continent. More than 623 million people live on the continent of Africa. There are more than 50 independent countries on the continent of Africa. Africa. The equator runs through Africa. The equator is an imaginary line that runs around the Earth and separates the world into two hemispheres, north and south. The equator is halfway between the north and south poles. Africa. Serengeti is a large national park in Tanzania, a country in Africa. The wild animals in the park are protected from hunters. Africa. A very small portion of the world's snakes produce poisonous venom. To cure a victim of a snake bite, an anti-serum can be given by a doctor. Africa. Dr. David Livingstone was a Scottish explorer in Africa during the 1840s through the 1860s. Africa. Gorillas and chimpanzees live in the forests of Africa. They live in groups of families and are very intelligent. Some chimpanzees are so intelligent they have learned some words in human language. Africa. The hippopotamus is distantly related to the pig. Hippos spend most of the hot day submerged in water. They have adapted well to their daytime lifestyle with their eyes, ears, and nose on top of their heads. Serpent surprise! Creepy cuss!
Yes.
Transylvania. Transylvania is located in northwestern and central Romania. Romania is a country located between the Ukraine and Hungary. Transylvania. Folklore can be a myth, a fable, a legend, a proverb, a song, and even a riddle. Gypsy folklore has inspired the imagination of many artists, composers, and writers. Transylvania. Perhaps the most famous character to come from Transylvanian folklore was Count Dracula. Transylvania. According to Gypsy folklore, the future can be predicted by gazing into a crystal ball. The Wacky Lab.
Yes?
Japan. Japan is a country that is a part of Asia. The capital of Japan is Tokyo. Over 124 million people live in Japan. Japan. Mount Fuji is the most famous mountain in Japan. It is an old volcano. It is over 12,000 feet high. Japan. Sumo is a type of Japanese wrestling. Sumo wrestlers can weigh more than 300 pounds. A sumo wrestling match is usually very short in duration. Japan. Karate is another sport popular in Japan. Unlike sumo, karate originated in China. Japan. A samurai is a warrior aristocrat of Japan. They practice the chivalric code of Bushido. Surf's up! Emu evolution.
Yes?
Australia. Australia is the smallest continent with a population of more than 16 million people. The capital of Australia is Canberra. Sydney is the oldest and largest city in Australia. 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 Australia is in the southern hemisphere. When it's summer in the United States, it's winter in Australia, and when it's winter in the United States, it's summer in Australia. Australia. The first Australians were the Aborigines. They came to Australia from Asia. They were skilled hunters. Australia. The dingo is a wild dog tamed by the Aborigines. The dingo is both a loyal pet and a hunter. Australia. The emu is the Australian cousin of the ostrich. It is a little smaller than the ostrich and it has more feathers on its head. Like the ostrich, the emu cannot fly, but can run very fast. Australia. Many other fascinating animals live in Australia. Koalas, wallabies and kangaroos are only found in Australia. These animals are called marsupials. Surf's up! Movie stars? And action!
Yes? Return.
United States of America. The USA is the fourth largest country in the world. There are 50 states, including Alaska and Hawaii. The state with the largest population is California. United States of America. Los Angeles, California is the second largest city in the USA after New York City. Hollywood is a district of Los Angeles. United States of America. Thomas Edison invented one of the first movie projectors in 1894. Thomas Edison also invented the phonograph and the light bulb. United States of America. The director has a very important job on a movie or a TV show. The director works closely with the actors, writers, camera people, and staff to create their vision of the movie or show.
Yes.
Bahamas. The Bahamas are a group of 700 islands off the coast of Florida. Most of them are very small. The capital of the Bahamas is Nassau. Bahamas. Thousands of pink flamingos live on some of the islands. Flamingos like to stand and balance on one leg. Bahamas. Underwater, there are many hidden caves among the beautiful coral reefs where exotic, colorful tropical fish swim. Bahamas. Most sharks are not killer sharks. Tiger sharks and great white sharks are two of the most dangerous man-eating sharks. Bahamas. Pirates were people who robbed ships on the high seas. Some pirate ships were called galleons. Blackbeard was one of the most famous pirates. Lift the treasure, and the winner is...
Yes.
England. England is part of the
Replay.